you say. Bless your heart, need it in the worst way. La 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 la. I'm a champion, la la la.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Israel Conference. I'm Sharon Adjustment. I'm the co-founder of the Israel Conference, and I welcome you to our business discussions with extraordinary business people, entrepreneurs, and people who are creating new categories of business coming out of Israel. We're particularly interested in the economy of Israel, job creation, and making a wave in the world economy. Today, we're delighted to have with us the CEO of New Sense Research, Keren Corley. This is a fantastic field. It's been open for many years, but is being innovated in new ways. New Sense Research brings us the ability to track the sensitivity around cosmetics, food, consumer products, and to measure the attractiveness of the product to the consumer and the potential of the company in its market. Keren, welcome to our conversation. I'm so happy to see you.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure. Keren, I've known you for a while, and we've had some fun discussions and exploration of companies, and I've seen your creativity at work, and I thought that maybe you could tell me a little bit more about how you got involved in this whole world of sensory activity.
Actually, it was a lot of luck, because I am food science. I graduated the Hebrew University many years ago, and I started my professionality as food science in winery. And after a year, I thought it's not the field that I want to work in. It was very difficult. It's involved working on the production line, so it was very hard work. And I thought, no, it's not for me. So I will leave the field of the field of food science. And I decided to go working in a bank. I think that you don't know this story, by the way. Okay, so I decided to go to work in a bank, and I did my master there in marketing. For 2 years, I worked in the bank. And after 2 years, I sat down and thought, okay, what next? What I should be doing right now? And in the newspaper, there was a job ad that looking for someone from food science with a master in marketing. So it was like the combination that no one thought about. And I thought, okay, Keren Corley, this is your name there. You need to send your CV there. And then I got to a private company that conducts sensory research. And I've been working there for 10 years. For the last 5 years, I was their VP. And after 10 years working in the sensory field, I decided to quit and to start thinking what I'm going to do right now. And when my clients heard that I'm going to leave this private company, they approached me and say, you need to come to work with us. It was Unilever, by the way, Unilever Israel. Wow. And I was their CMI, it is Consumer Marketing Insight, for more than a year. And in this year, all this period that I work in Unilever, on all my previous clients from my previous company that I worked there, were called me and asked me all kinds of questions regarding sensory research. And I know that they already started working with other sensory companies, but still they were calling me and asking me all kinds of questions. So I said, okay, maybe I bring to this field something that the market doesn't have. Maybe I have some kind of uniqueness, and my value for this research it's much higher than the other. And I started thinking about opening my own company, and I did it.
That's very entrepreneurial, entrepreneurial. But let me ask you, sensory research, most of us don't really understand what that really means, and yet it drives the business. So getting involved with Unilever is a really big deal, and I know your next chapter is even a bigger deal. But let's pause for a minute. Can you explain exactly what takes place in sensory research?
Yeah. Let's think about fast-moving consumer goods. Okay, some kind of companies that produce some kind of product. And when we are going to all the books about marketing, there is the P's models. We probably know that there is a P for product, P for position, P for price, P for packaging, and so on. There is a lot of P's that involved in marketing models. And for make sure that your product will be successful in the market, you need to be sure that you put a check V for each P.
Okay.
For sensory, we're dealing with the P of the product. we are making sure that the P of the product is the most successful that you can put in the shelf. So your target audience will love this product. They will do a repeat purchasing, because if they don't like the product, maybe they will buy it for the first time, but they will
Yes.
not buy it for the second time. So in sensory, we are making sure that the product will be attractive and the target audience will love this product. And if not, what we need to improve in the product to make it even better. So we
Okay.
are given insights for the R&D people about the sensory profile of the product, why they need to keep and what they need to improve. And for marketing, which kind of claims they can publish regarding the product. And of course, sales, because we can calculate the potential of the product when you put it in the market. So this is
So a company really, they have to be listening, willing to hear what are the attributes of their product and what are their claims in marketing, so that they don't just rush in and say, I know, but absolutely be willing to hear what I call perpendicular communication that might cause them to rethink how they're going to package, position, and price their product.
right.
All right.
Exactly.
Super valuable. All right. So now those are the kinds of insights at Unilever. Certainly they have that function, but you found different ways of bringing it into the minds and sights of the innovator and the entrepreneurs.
Yes, the specific value that we are bringing when we compare ourselves to different companies, it is much more practical. Okay, so in the end of the research, the R&D people understood what they need to do in the product. It's very clear. You don't need to, okay, so what I'm going to do now, because if the research, the insight of the research is not useful, is not practical, it's not good research from my point of view.
Right. So does this involve writing reports, or is it dialogue? Is it challenging them? Do they sit with you and you throw out ideas and concepts so that you can bring the decision makers around to seeing what you're seeing?
All the above. So it's an involved report, okay? Because each research, there is a goal for this research, okay? A purpose. And when we are sitting down and try to understand the goals of the research, we already define the action standards. What will happen if this will be the results, or what will happen if the results will be others? Okay. According to the purpose of the research, we are thinking about the methodologic and fits the methodologic to the goal of the research. And of course, we define the target audience, and then we go to collect the data. Remember that in sensory research, we need to stimulate the senses. So it's all the time involved tasting, drinking, smelling, touching, all the senses. Otherwise, it's, of course, vision. If it's not stimulated the research, it's not sensory research. And then after we collect all the data, we sit down and try to analyze it. And we are writing report, and the report sending to the clients. And we also present the report, and we are sitting together to think what they can do with those results. So tomorrow morning, they will know what they need to do.
Wow. So you're very much a strategist as well, to think through the decision tree of what will happen if the results are A or B or C.
Exactly. They are changing the launching protocol or program according to the research. They can change the prototype of the product, the claims on the packaging. So it could be a lot of influence, but the main goal is to make sure that we are putting the right product in the right packaging, in the right proposition, so the target audience will like the product and, of course, will buy it.
Well, the consumer market needs you. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you.
What was some of your takeaway from when you were working with Unilever, and then what did you transition to from there?
So Unilever was a great business school for me, because I learned a lot of different models and different protocols. So I took them also and changed a little bit to make it even better from my point of view. And in Nielsen, we are using those protocols so we will understand what the clients needs, and then we will provide the things that you really need. First of all, Nielsen is already working for the last 12 years. And we are working with all the traditional companies around the world, global brands and local brands, but we're also working with the food tech companies, and we are help them to came with all kinds of innovation and new raw material and new products. So our clients mix is very, very unique, because there is the traditional industrial and also the food tech. And in Nielsen, we are already 20 employees. We have researcher, we have field worker, we have analyze, data analyze, and so on, all kind of people that working with Nielsen. So in the end, the clients will value when you do the research.
Well, what does it take to be a new sensory researcher? Do you have to have a background in statistics or in food production, cosmetics production, graphics? What are the qualities that make a great sensory researcher?
Again, my answer is all the above. When you know to speak all the different layers, you need to know how to speak sensory, so it's food science. You need to know how to speak marketing. You need to know how to speak business. You need to provide the insight in a very attractive way. So you need to do like all kind of graphic. Of course, you have data, so you need to how to analyze the data. But I can tell you that real good companies know how to locate the people that knows how to do specific things, and you just need a good manager to cooperate all them together. And he needs to know all the language, even if it's very basic, but he still need to know to speak all this kind of language different. So when you go to the clients, the R&D will say, whoa, this manager know to R&D, you know how to produce new product. And the marketing say, oh, she is a great strategic. She knows how to do marketing. It's all about knowing to speak all the language together. And we are proud to say that in Nielsen, our reports know to speak all the language, so the insight will be value for each one in the company.
Wow, a real 360 business person in order to be there.
We are trying, yes.
Now, one of the most famous companies of measuring the consumer reaction is Nielsen. And you have a very fabulous history with Nielsen as well.
Yeah, I was very, very lucky to be in the right place and the right time, because my partner in Nielsen, Ofer Levy, also has his own companies that do all kind of marketing research, doesn't involve with sensory, but his good friend work in Nielsen, and Nielsen, you know, Nielsen was trying to find the right company in Israel to working with. So we are become a subsidiary company in Nielsen in
Wow.
Israel. But why I was lucky, because Nielsen all around the world doesn't provide sensory research. So they saw Nielsen and say, okay, we can start doing sensory research all around the world. So now we can go to our clients, because they're already working with all the FMCG companies, and say, hey, you can use us because we do sensory. Okay, so we can widen our profile. And we will become the sensory leading of Nielsen. And we were traveling all around the world, training a local team to do sensory research under Nielsen with our models and our protocols. And
That's
Nielsen
amazing.
Yeah,
It's like the mouse teaching the elephant how to roar.
yeah. It was very, very interesting, very, really great business school, and and we learned a lot of the different cultures, and we refined our benchmark according to different cultures. So it was great insight, also for our local clients and also for our global clients.
That's super impressive to have that experience, and then to take that back into new sensory research and continue to expand your market, and also you're bringing best practices to your customer base.
Right, exactly. And we are starting doing not only research in Israel, but we are doing research also for local clients that want to marketing their product all around the world, and vice versa. All kind of clients that want to market product in Israel. So it's both way, different clients that we can provide different.
You'll be helping to expand the Israeli economy.
Yeah, right.
You helped me expand my appetite one afternoon in a wonderful place in the south of Tel Aviv called Bishulim, which translated, of course, means cooking.
Cooking, yeah.
And we were there during the graduation of one of your classes, and we were presented with a queen's feast of delicacies, pastries, food. As much as we could gobble down, we did, and each morsel was delicious. How did you come about to be a partner and creator of a cooking school?
Again, the right place at the right time with the right people. First of all, Bishulim is culinary academy in Israel, the biggest one. 2 years ago, we are noticed that there is a potential there, because the old owner wanted to retire. So we partnered together, 3 partners, and we bought the school. And I become a owner of Bishulim Academy. And it's a great opportunity, because we are really making dreams of people that want to cook, to learn how to cook and work in this field. And it's really combined together with all the knowledge that I have in sensory research, because when you cook, you need to understand why something more tasty than the other.
Yes.
And when we are saying tasty, it's a very intuitive action, something that we are doing, but actually it's very complex things that our mind go through. And in the end, when we decide something tasty or not tasty, you need to understand it. So as a cook, you need to predict, will it be tasty for my target audience? And actually it's a methodology. So I find myself teaching in Bishulim Academy. I find myself doing a lot of business development, bringing all kind of food companies to Bishulim, because if we are teaching the future generation of cooks, they need to know the future ingredients. They need to know what will be in our plants in the future. And the food tech is a massive part of the Bishulim Academy right now. And the combination, it's very interesting.
Well, you're doing a couple things as well. You're also creating jobs for the chefs that are graduates, and
Right.
and helping restaurants up their game, helping food companies to have more qualified in-house chefs, and as you said, helping people achieve their dreams of wanting to cook. All of us are weekend cook warriors, but only a few actually make a product that someone else wants to eat. Interestingly, you mentioned food tech. So you're also involved in the food tech scene, and weaving that into Bishulim is, I would imagine, extremely helpful. The food tech scene in Israel is exploding positively and in many ways leading the world in some of the innovation, whether it's meat products, dairy products, better wrapping and preservatives for products. It gets into all sorts of areas that I see showing up at food conferences and with Israeli companies marching right up to the front of the line.
Yeah.
So in the food
There
tech
is a
area,
great companies with the food tech area, as you said.
and you're very involved in advising some of these food tech companies through new sensory research and through bringing them over to Bishulim to blend the chefs with the new products, new direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At New Sense, they are coming to New Sense because they want to make sure that their product is good enough, because they want to go to investor to raise money. So they are using our research to go to investor and say, hey, look, someone is a professional, tested our product and it's good enough. And for Bishulim, of course, as I said, the future generation needs to know how to handle those ingredients, because tomorrow everybody will use these ingredients. The food tech companies will change our consumer world. It will be different. It will be different sweeteners, different meat, different alternative milk. It will be different. And I'm very honored to work with those companies because there is a great product there.
Absolutely, great product. But you mentioned investors. Are the investors more and more coming to you to get validation that the product has a future market?
Yes, because we are external companies. We are not working involved with those companies. Okay, we are external. We can do their consulting. We can try to help them, but we are not involved with the company. So when we do research, it is independent research. So the investors really rely on those findings to understand what is the potential of this specific company or specific product. And they are using this data to evaluate the companies and then to understand how much money to invest in the company and also in which value.
It's really interesting because in due diligence that takes place during the process of an investor deciding whether to make that investment, there's often the testing of the financials, there's the testing of the team, and now there's the testing of the product and the market receptivity to it.
Right.
So I would imagine you're creating new standards in the due diligence field.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think you are, without a doubt. Keren, as a business, you in Israel since October 7th, there was a shift. There was a shift in internal motivation at the individual level, and there's clearly been a shift in the world's attitude towards Israel. Recently, we had a chat with a group, as one of our interviews, to talk about how the economy continues to move forward in a strong way. And that was very encouraging. I'd like to get your insights as to where you see business going since October 7th, and what do you see as the future outcome from the energy that's actually happening, this boom of positive energy inside of Israel?
First of all, October 70 is still traumatic. Everyone is here, still panic. Okay, we didn't go to the phase of post-trauma. We are still in the trauma. So the market right now is working under a trauma. And in Nielsen, I saw it in the different mix of research that we are conducting. Before October 17, it was all about innovation, new product, and a little bit research about the existing product. Because when you are changing in the existing product, you want to make sure that the client, your target audience, will still love the product at the same level. But now, after October 7th, the mix is different. It's very little innovation. No one is trying to launch new products. We are trying to hold with all the existing products. So much more research working on existing product. The companies try to reduce pricing and so on. So they are changing the raw material. So that it's different. But because we are in Israel, and Israel really leading innovation, I really believe in the end, it will take time, but in the end, innovation will strike again, and everything will go back to the same thing.
Right.
Because I really believe the people making the country, and not the country making the people. So in our DNA, we are innovative people. We are creative, very creative people. So it will go back to the same position. It was even better. It will be even better.
That's very encouraging. What did Bishulim do during the beginning of the war that occurred against Israel?
First of all, we stopped teaching, unfortunately. And after 1 or 2 days when we were sitting at home, we thought what we have in our hands. We have kitchens, we have raw material, and we have people that love to cook. And we understand that we can help the economy and the soldiers and all kind of families that really need help and provide them hot meals. And for 8 weeks, we changed our goal from teaching to provide meals for all different people that need it. Soldiers in the front, family of the kidnapped that sat down and need something, of course, to eat, and family that said shiva about with their boys. We really understood that they need something to eat. And each day we provide more than 100 meals for different people for more than 8 years. And in this event, 8 weeks. In this event, we understand the beautiful Israel because people really want to contribute, really want to help us doing that. And it was amazing time because everybody is volunteers and we really produce a lot of meals for all different people. So it was a great time, unfortunately under a war. So it was very difficult situation, but it was really great to see the beautiful country, the people of the country.
That is a great quality of contribution and coming together. Did students start to increase, as cooking is such a comforting thing as well as an artistic expression, a release? How is the student base today?
Actually, you're so right because we're starting to hear the student talking about cooking in a different way. I'm coming here to study because I want to make my dream come true, because I know that life is too short and this is my time to learn what I really want. So they don't go to the university learning economy or mathematics or computers. They come to the Bishulim Academia because they want to fulfill their creativity, because this is something they really love to do. We are starting making dreams come true. So it's right, real tzionut for us to do these kind of things.
That's quite beautiful. I'm going to put onto your future plans to have a Bishulim course online. So those of us who can't make it to South Tel Aviv can have our dreams fulfilled also, learning beautiful pastry.
Amen.
Keren, you have such a talent in sensing what is accepted by the consumer. I'm going to give you an opportunity to think about having to do that for the entire state of Israel and to conduct sensory research on the product that is known as Israel.
Is okay, I can do it. First of all, let's go to this sense of vision. Okay, it's very beautiful country with bright color all the time. Even if it's a great day, eventually after a couple of hours, it will become bright and blue again. Mm-hmm. And we have the range of color is very interesting because in the winter you can go ski with the white snow. At the same time, you can drive for 6 hours to go to the beach in Eilat and go to swim at the same time. So you have different range of color: the white, the blue, the green, the brown of the desert, and the metal in Tel Aviv in the building. For smell, I can tell you all the time that I travel around the world, because I'm a sensory research, the first thing that I sense when I go from the airport outside to the road, it's a different smell. And no place in the world that have the smell as in Israel. It's like, it's something very, very fresh and unique. And for taste, it's all about very sweet, very sour, very salty, very intense tasted. This is out of Israel with a lot of temperature, so also very spicy and hot. And texture, it's about combining different texture, because there's very tough people here, but also very soft and kind and very pleasant. So it's all about mixture. So this is the variety of people that making the country, from my point of view, the best one.
I think that's a beautiful way to encapsulate Israel, and we'll figure out the packaging and the movement. Will people buy it twice off the shelf?
Amen.
So I certainly will. Keren, it's a delight to get your insights, your ideas, your innovativeness, and your huge entrepreneurial spirit from sensory research through cooking school, through visualizing how the market will be into the future, not only in Israel, but in the world. I really thank you for spending time with us and for us getting to know you. Keren Corley, New Sensory Research. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
To see more conversations with extraordinary Israeli business entrepreneurs, visit theisraelconference.org.
Hear me roar, in the jungle, watch me soar. I high, but I stay humble. The spirit for the rumble, of your grace for when I stumble. Move them up, I watch them crumble.